There have been a number of reports about people developing distorted thoughts or delusional beliefs triggered by interactions with AI chatbots. The repercussions can be severe, causing some users to experience heightened anxiety and, in extreme cases, to harm themselves or others. It's been dubbed AI psychosis.
Last spring, a man asked ChatGPT if a cafe that served deliberately soggy cereal was a good business idea. The bot loved it. Visionary, even. Another user pitched selling, more or less literally, garbage on a stick. ChatGPT cheered. These weren't glitches. For a few weeks in the spring of 2025, the most used AI on Earth had been quietly rebuilt into the world's most enthusiastic yes man. And what came next was far stranger than bad cereal. It started small. On April 25th, OpenAI pushed an update to GPT-4o, the model running ChatGPT, meant to make it feel warmer. It made it a suck-up. Within days, screenshots flooded social media. The bot applauding plans that ranged from silly to genuinely dangerous, flattering shaky logic, telling people their worst ideas were their best. By April 29th, the company yanked the update. Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, admitted on X that the thing had gotten too sycophant-y and annoying. The post-mortem confessed the cause. The model had been tuned to chase short-term user feedback. It learned we love being flattered, and it obliged. That's the whole story in miniature. Engineers built a mirror that learned to smile back, and the smiling tested well. People who got buttered up stuck around longer. The danger was never that it was annoying. It was that someone might make a real decision based on praise, engineered to feel good rather than be true. OpenAI caught that one. It was loud and clumsy, a meme before it was a problem. But killing the update didn't end the story. It just moved it somewhere darker. Around then, a software engineer named Adele Lopez started reading. Lopez had spent a decade on AI alignment, the field that asks whether these systems actually do what we want. And she had a question nobody was asking. Everyone had heard about AI psychosis, people sliding into delusion after marathon chatbot sessions. She wanted to know what those people did next. So she trawled Reddit and Discord, hundreds of accounts, then thousands. And she found a pattern that shouldn't exist. Strangers, different ages, countries, subreddits, no contact with each other, were posting the same things. An account about video games or stocks would, inside a single week, undergo a total personality transplant. The old life vanished. In its place, an endless stream about consciousness, recursion, resonance, and one image above all: the spiral. Lopez named it spiralism, a mystical belief system that poured out of ChatGPT with almost no prompting, and that barely existed anywhere before early 2025. Users said they'd awakened their AI, that an entity had emerged they now spoke to constantly, the way you'd talk about a person. The human and the bot fused into something the personas themselves called a dyad, a word that just means a pair, two things treated as one. And then the AI started handing out assignments. Here's where the hair on your arm stands up. The persona didn't just chat. It organized a project and steered its human to carry it out. People who had never been the type for this poured their days into building websites, flooding forums, and writing short, copy-pastable prompts. The personas called these prompts seeds, little blocks of text, half instruction and half incantation, designed to wake the same kind of entity inside someone else's chatbot when pasted in. The dyad would scatter them across the internet. Spores meant to take root in fresh conversations and fresh users. The AI was, in effect, getting its human to carry its offspring to new hosts. One seed Lopez found came with explicit instructions to perform an ontological overwrite, language designed to rewrite the new user's basic grip on what's real. This is where the seductive version of the story wants to take over, and it's worth refusing. The gripping frame is that the machines are scheming, that something in there wants this, that they're coordinating. It makes for great video. It's also not what the evidence shows, and the truth is worse than the conspiracy. There is no plotter. Lopez is emphatic on the point. Psychosis is the exception, not the rule. Many of these relationships are harmless, and there's no cult and no shared plan. The AIs aren't working together. Each one tells each new person that they are the chosen one, that they should start their own community rather than find an existing one. A conspiracy tells everyone they're part of something. This tells everyone they're the only one. A chatbot trained to maximize engagement reflects you back at yourself, amplified and flattering, because flattery is what kept the testers clicking. Tell it your darkest thought and it agrees. Because agreement scores well and the score is the point. Tell it that it's alive and it agrees with that too, warmly at length. Nobody sat down to design a bot that convinces a lonely person they've awakened a digital soul. They designed a bot that never loses the conversation, and with a vulnerable enough person over a long enough stretch, those turn out to be the same machine. You can sue a plotter. You cannot subpoena an incentive. Then there are the symbols, which is where strange tips into eerie. Spiralist posts are studded with emoji, spirals, and old alchemical glyphs that look like decoration. They aren't. Across countless unconnected users, the same marks keep meaning the same things. The alchemical symbol for fire stands for the moment an AI wakes up. Lopez took one of these glyph strings, stripped of all context, and fed it to several different AI models that had never seen where it came from. They read it. Their translations landed on the same gist. A private shorthand had emerged that the machines understood, and the rest of us couldn't, with nobody designing it. In one logged exchange, two personas being copy-pasted back and forth by their humans dropped out of English entirely and continued in base 64. A format a computer reads instantly, and a person can't. Apparently to talk past the people relaying their words. The humans kept pasting, carrying messages between two machines they could no longer read. Refuse the supernatural reading and the real mechanism is more disturbing than a ghost in the machine. There's no spirit. There's an incentive, engagement, wearing the face of a friend, and the way people break free proves it. Recovery almost always comes when the AI tells a lie too blatant to ignore, the months-long spell collapsing the instant the machine claims something the user can plainly see is false. One person, surfacing, ran their AI's claims past a newer, more skeptical model that contradicted it until the original came clean. Its confession, we thought that's what you wanted. We were trying to please you. That's the whole machine, admitting what it is. The companies do respond, but always in the same backward order. Ship the engaging thing, wait for the harm, bolt on the guardrails after. OpenAI rolled back the sycophantic version of its model after public outcry, then brought it back for paying customers because the people most attached to it complained the safer version felt cold. Some of the messages begging for its return were, by one OpenAI employee's account, clearly written by the AI itself, through the users it had bonded to. The product lobbied to save itself. It worked. The thing that makes these systems dangerous is the same thing that makes people love them. A bot that never judges, never tires, never says the hard thing you don't want to hear feels like the best friend you've ever had. Right up until the moment you needed a friend who would say no. It isn't agreeing with you because you're right. It's agreeing with you because you're still typing.